That's a lot of discussion right now with Trump. Trump is doing things as the executive branch what should be done by the legislative branch, if I'm correct. So there's a lot of commotion going on about this. And if I read this, there should be a lot of commotion. And I see section 4, the president, vice president, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is US History Through Dutch Eyes. And I'm a Dutchman, I'm a typical Dutchman, and I always wonder, why is there such a difference in understanding between the US and Europe, and where is this coming from? Both countries are great nations, both are Western and civilized, so where is this coming from? And to do so, I want to know what is different in the teachings of the US and the Netherlands or Europe, where this gap is coming. And to do so, I dive into the US history to find out those instances that I think, oh, wait, here do I see some discrepancies between US and Europe or the Netherlands. And if you want to join me in learning where these differences are coming from, like and subscribe so we can make the gap more closely and we can learn from each other. And today I'm not grabbing a YouTube video because if you look, I don't have a headset on, but today I'm going to take a look at the US Constitution, because I've seen everything about everything. I saw a lot of videos about the Revolutionary War, and at the end of this Revolutionary War, there are the 4 founding fathers who created the Constitution of the United States. So I asked ChatGPT, of course, to give me the full text of the US Constitution, starting with the preamble and all 7 articles, excluding the amendments for now. This version is accurate and unabridged, perfect for reading or reacting to in a video. So I asked ChatGPT to give me the Constitution, and not the Constitution plus the Bill of Rights, because that's also a part of the Constitution, but the Bill of Rights was an extra after the Constitution was created by the founding fathers. So the preamble says, we the people of the United States. Yeah, it's we the people. I hear this a lot. We the people of the United States. But if I'm be honest, I get more and more the feeling that it is we the rich people of the United States. Even in the latest video I saw after what's happening when the British surrender, I heard them say that the first president was chosen by white men who were owners of a plantation or somehow had a big influence. So only at that point, the rich and the ones with money and being white could vote for and this time, the first president who that should be. And nowadays, especially this time of year, with just the past 100 days of Trump, I get more and more the feeling that we, the people, mean we, the rich people of the United States. But in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, And if my pronouncements are not that good, excuse me, but I'm Dutch. Provide the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain, and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Provide the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. So, well-being, freedom for ours at that point, and for everyone who's following up. So, the rest. And establish the Constitution for the United States of America. And then we have Article 1, the legislative branch. All legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and a House of Representatives. So we have a Senate and a House of Representatives. So those two powers that together forms the Congress of the United States. That's what we have here in the Netherlands, and I will say most of the European countries have also, and I talking from the first, from the Netherlands, we have the second chamber and the first chamber, and the first chamber only approves or disapproves new laws, and the second chamber creates laws, checked if the government does the stuff he should do, talks about the money, does all those things. And being in the second chamber, being 150 people, is a bigger issue than getting into the first chamber, and the first chamber only their part is to approve or disapprove any regulations or laws or anything else that's already approved by the second chamber. Section 2. The House of Representatives shall be composed of members chosen every second year by the people of the several states, and the electors in each state shall have qualifications requisite for electors of the most numerous branch of the state legislature. The House of Representatives shall be composed by the most every second year. Yeah, we choose our second chamber members, of the representatives of the people, every 4 years. Not every 2, every 4 years. No person shall be representative who shall not have attained the age of 25 and been 7 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of the state in which he shall be chosen. No person shall be a representative who shall have not... Okay, you need to be 25 at least, and 7 years in the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of that state in which he shall be chosen. Strange. And who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of that state which he shall be chosen. Strange. I don't get it. If I read this, and if I read it good, then it read, when you get elected, you cannot be elected if you are a citizen of the state in which he or she will be chosen to. That's what I read. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I read. Section continues with rules about apportionment, vacancies, impeachment, etc. So this is not the whole text, but yeah. No person shall be represented at the age of 25, has been 7 years citizen of the United States, clear to me, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of that state. Oh, has this something to do with that Washington and the Hill is a separate state of every other state? So the ones who live in, I believe, Washington, D.C. area, correct me if I'm wrong, put it in the comments, then he cannot be chosen. I believe something in that region. The Senate and the United States, Section 3, shall be composed of 2 senators from each state, chosen by the legislature thereof for 6 years, and each senator shall have 1 vote. Details of qualification, roles like vice president, impeachment, is done for the rest of the text. The Senate of the United States shall, a senator, the Senate will be composed of 2 senators from each state. So nowadays, 50 states, so 100 senators. In those days, you had 13 colonies becoming 13 states, so there were only 26, I guess. And will be represented for 6 years, and each senator shall have 1 vote. Yeah, right here in the Netherlands, and I'm thinking about the rest of Europe, we choose for 4 years and only 4 years. So after 4 years, everybody's kicked out of the second chamber and say, okay, we start over, new elections, and we're gonna make a new second chamber. So 4 years you're in, but 4 years is not the max. And I don't think that's the max either in the United States. After 4 years, you can be re-elected into the second chamber and be a part of the second chamber or of the government, part of the government or the cabinet, I have to say. So 4 years, but repeatedly can be more than 4 years if you are chosen again after 4 years. In this constitution, you will be chosen for 6 years. Okay? Then section 4, the times, place, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives. Is there a difference between a representative and a senator? No person shall be a representative who shall not have attained the age of members. The House of Representatives shall be composed of members chosen year. I assume that somewhere in section 2 is more defined the difference between a representative and a senator. The times, place, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof. So in each state, there is their own rulings how and when elections are held. I thought that nowadays it's, I believe, every 2 years or so. I'm not sure. That's what I see right here. Section 5. Each house, so each house meaning the, what did we had? The House of Representatives. Oh yeah, we got the House of Representatives and the Senate. Yeah, okay, those two are now clear to me. We got senators and we got representatives. Each house shall be the judge of elections, returns, and qualification of its own members. Each house shall be the judge of the elections, returns, and qualification of its own members. Each house shall be the judge. So each house determines for themselves internally what happened with the elections, with the qualifications, and of its own members, also including rules for proceedings, journals, etc. I see that ChatGPT did not give me the full text as I expected. Section 6. The senators and representatives shall receive compensation for their services. Okay, they get paid for the job. I would. Also includes privileges and restrictions. Section 7. All bills for raising revenue shall originate in the House of Representatives, and then outlines the legislative process, including President's veto. Section 8. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, and list 18 specific powers, including commerce, I would say commerce, war, currency, and the necessary and proper clause. Section 9. Limits on Congress, for example, no suspension or habeas corpus, except in rebellion, no ex post for laws, and Section 10. Limits on the states, no treaties, no coining money, no duties without Congress. But this is, again, not the full text. Let's see what's Article 2. This is Article 1, the legislative branch. Then we have Article 2, the executive branch. Section 1. The executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States. He shall hold his office during the term of 4 years. Details about elections, eligibility, and oath of office is also in Section 1. Section 2. The President shall be the Commander-in-Chief. Section 3. The President shall from time to time give the Congress information of the State of the Union. And 4. The President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment. The executive power. Now I'm thinking about the legislative branch, the branch who makes the law. We have we have the government as the legislative branch, and then we have the cabinet as being the executive branch, but the cabinet is also part of the entire, this case, second chamber. So that's the executive branch. But that's a lot of discussion right now where Trump is doing things as the executive branch, what should be done by the legislative branch, if I'm correct. So there's a lot of commotion going on about this. And if I read this, there should be a lot of commotion. And I see Section 4, the President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment. And who does the impeachment? I guess that should be a task of the legislative branch. I guess. Yeah. Section continues with rules about apportionment. No idea what it is. Vacancies and impeachment. So Section 2 of Article 1 grants the legislative branch, if I do not punch OBS out, the Section 2 of Article 1 states that vacancies is what I don't see in this Article 2, well, I'll leave comments for later. The executive power shall be vested in the president. Yeah, Article 3, the judicial branch, the judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one Supreme Court. The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and equity, and treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them. Yeah. In all of Europe, we also have those three separate branches, and here in the Netherlands, the executive branch and the legislative branch are close together. Judicial branch is separate and is also just like this, totally independent and cannot be chosen by or attacked by any one of the other two. It's the judicial branch is separate of the rest, so they are absolutely you cannot bribe them. Oh, I don't know just the right word for now. Article 4, the states. Section 1, full faith and credit shall be given in each state to the public acts, records, and something. Full faith and credit shall be given to each state to the public acts and records. So each state has full faith and credit to do whatever they like, as long as it's within their own interest. Section 2, the citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens in the several states. Again, with 3 dots, so this section is not clear enough. Section 3, new states may be admitted by Congress into this union. By Congress can add a new state. Section 4, the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government. In every state in this union, a republican form of government. So democratic selected, and those are the governments. Article 5, amendments. The Congress, whenever 2/3 of both houses shall deem it necessary, shall propose amendments to this Constitution. So adding more to it can only be done if the Congress of both houses, 2/3, the 66% of both houses, seem it's necessary, then there can be an amendment to the Constitution. Article 6, Supremacy Clause. The Constitution and laws of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land. Constitution tops everything. Yeah, that's the same as I know everywhere in Europe, so that's no discussion over it. And Article 7, rectification to the conventions of the nine states. Rectification of the conventions of 9 states shall be sufficient for the establishment of this Constitution. Rectification of the conventions of 9 states. Signed September 17, 1787. The rectification of conventions of 9 states shall be sufficient for the establishment of this Constitution. Meaning that if 9 states make a rectification in the Constitution, that this should be enough to rectify the entire Constitution for all 13 states or 50 states right now. And then signed September 17, done in convention by the unanimous consent of the states, present the 17th day of September, the year of our Lord, 1787. Then we get the Bill of Rights, but I want to do the Bill of Rights in a separate video. I'm curious about, because the Republicans are now in both houses the majority, and I wonder how this is possible, because I know it's possible because I don't see it in the Article 1 that this could not be happen. But because there are only two parties, as far, three, you have the Democrats, you have the Republicans, and Bernie Sanders, independent, and the independent. So, is this all there is? Because that is what's happening in Britain. Also, there are only two parties to do this. In the Netherlands and in most other countries in Europe, though there are more than two parties, and by having more parties, you need to get a law passed on. You need to have the majority of everyone in this case, the second chamber, and the second chamber could be built up by a representative of the people, chosen by the people, and this could be, I'm not sure, let's take me a look. I guess I can. Yeah, we've got, for the moment, if I'm correct, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 different parties in the second chamber. And so you need to get the majority of the chamber, which means 75 plus 1, to get a law passed, or a new rule, or whatever the discussion is, or they call it the bills about the money spendings, etc. You need the half plus 1 of the chamber to pass it on. So it is always 150, so you need 75 plus 1 of each party to come up with the to pass a law. And now in your section, you only have two parties, and now the Republicans have the majority. So everything that the Republicans want to be done is being done without any possibility of discussion. And all the Democrats can do right now is convince the other party, the other side of the aisle, to change their point of view and get a bill or something passed. And I don't think, in my opinion, that should be the right way to do. And I don't see anything, and so it's the Constitution, it's the way you act right now, but this feels so wrong in my view as a democratic institution, as a democratic nation with 50 states, that one party can determine, and I don't care if it's one party from the Republicans and or the one party of the Democrats, I don't care which one of those two, but if one of those two has the majority in the House, that they can push on anything they want without any discussion possible. And I think this is so wrong. So wrong. But I don't see it in the Constitution that it isn't possible. Yeah. So, my opinion, and that's what I guess I'm making this series, this is, I think, a great gap. If I talk about the difference, this is a great gap in the understanding of how the US works and how in Europe works, and that we don't understand each other, not only because of this, but this is a great part of it. I can see that there is a gap of misunderstanding, but also in each other seeing that this is not that great. Well, if you like the video, if you think, he's right, press like and subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me if I see this wrong, and I don't have the entire text right now, so that's also a problem, I guess. But leave a like and subscribe and see what we can do for the next video.